Alright, welcome to the outdoor kitchen. Today in the video we're going to make some chocolate chip cookies from a Dutch oven, but we also discovered a really good recipe that Jill and I both have tried it and we like it a lot. So we're going to teach you how to make it here today. You're first going to start off with 1 cup of sugar white and 1 cup of sugar brown. Put them in your mixing bowl. You have 2 cubes of room temperature butter. Now room temperature in Mexico is probably warmer than room temperature in the North Pole, but room temperature, so it's nice and melty, just like that. This room temperature up here in the mountains is obviously very warm because it didn't want to come out of the package. Maybe you don't have them quite that room temperature, but you do want them soft enough though that you can stir. Once you get to this point, you're going to want to mix this. Now there's 3 secrets to this recipe. 1, you don't over stir. 2, you use parchment paper. And 3, you don't over bake. As soon as you see it starting to get a little bit of browning to it, hurry and get them out. That will give you a good soft cookie, not one of those hard ones that you can use down at the gun range as a skeet sheet. So, because we're in the mountains, don't have power out here, we could run an extension cord, but we're gonna substitute the power drill with a batter on. You're gonna mix these all up. You gotta be careful not to go too fast, obviously, because you'll bring that up all over. Our mixing bowl's not quite as big as we want, but now we always know the best part of cooking is licking the batter, so we're gonna hurry and let Hank and Bo get a taste of this really quick. Oh, you guys like that, don't you? Yes, you do. Lots of sugar. This is how we do dishes here. These guys get it licked spotless, ready to go for the next round. Now, the recipe calls for 2 eggs, but when we made this the other day, Jill and I thought, it's not quite moist enough, so we're going to throw 3 in. We'll see what happens on that. Now, because I told you earlier, part of the secret is to not over mix. We're going to mix our eggs in a separate container. Try not to get any shell in there, but if you do, give that to the neighbor you don't like, that cookie. Okay, grab your little whisk here, and hurry and whisk these up. Once you've got those mixed, so they're nice and pretty much solid color all the way through, not separated anymore, you're going to take this and just pour it right over the top of your cookie dough that you've just, or dump it over the sugar that you've already mixed. You're also going to put 2 teaspoons of vanilla. Now the stuff you get down in Mexico is obviously always going to be better, but we haven't been to Mexico for a couple of years, so we'll just do the store-bought kind, which is just as good. Now here's the secret ingredient to these recipes. Salted caramel syrup. It goes in your batter and it gives your batter a nice little salted caramel flavoring. So this calls for 1.5 tablespoons. Jill put that on, she's much stronger than I am. We're just going to take a guess on that. Probably about that much right there is good. Might be a little bit richer, might not be quite, but that's a good guess about where to go. You're going to mix this up. So you can use this wooden spatula here to mix. Probably about like so. And at this point, we're going to want to add chocolate chips. Some people like semi-sweet, some like milk. I like the milk chocolate. So we're just going to dump in a whole sack of that. There we go. Do a quick stir and get those in there. Like so. Then you're going to add 3.5 cups of flour. Joe already measured it out to put it in here. We're not going to just dump it in all at once. We'll dump maybe into thirds just to kind of get it started mixing up. So we'll start off like so, get that mixed. You see how that flour is starting to soak up all that moisture already. Dump in another third. Now, you're going to get messy doing this, so if you're trying to keep a clean kitchen, that's why you do it outside like we're doing, because if I spill the flour on the ground, who cares? Jill just reminded me that I need to throw in 3 more ingredients. You gotta throw in a teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and I might get a little bit more because I'm doing it sloppily like that, and 2 teaspoons of baking soda. All the good stuff in here, right? Go, and we'll mix that in along with the flour and the salt and everything. Glad you have it. Okay, we're gonna mix that up. Okay, once you get your dough to this point, all mixed up, you're gonna take your parchment paper, you're gonna put it down in your Dutch oven. Get it so it's down there all the way down on the bottom, because your cookies are going to rest directly on this. Now, larger Dutch oven obviously can make more cookies. Smaller, my dad has a long square Dutch oven, which would be ideal and perfect for this, because probably one of these parchment papers would lay down nice and flat. You can put your cookie right on top. You just take some ham or butter if you want. Just do a quick spray on your hands, just to keep that dough from sticking. You're gonna just tear off a piece, probably about golf ball size, maybe a little bit smaller, since it's gonna be slightly sticky, but not too bad. You're just gonna sit it right down in there. Tear off another one. Just kind of roll it a little bit. Then we don't want to over stir, right? Over mix. Sit it in there. Grab another one. This will be a little bit slower process unless you have, like I said, a bigger Dutch oven or multiple Dutch ovens. We do have 2, but we're going to run 1 at a time right now. Almost got some extra protein in there. Okay, so we're going to stop right here because these cookies get to be pretty good size. So we're going to stop right there. We're going to put the lid on. And we're going to go to our ashes. Now you're going to, some people have a pre-made stand rack that gets your Dutch oven up off the ground. I don't have one. So I set up 3 rocks here about the same height, and you're going to put your Dutch oven on there just to get it up off the ground. So you can see there's about 3 or 4 inches under there. You don't want to burn your chocolate chip cookie. So at this point you're going to get your ashes And you're just gonna, not under it, but off to the side of your Dutch oven. Like so. And you're gonna put a little bit on top. Might be a little too much, but we'll keep an eye on it. Now, if it's right underneath the Dutch oven, it's gonna get that really, really hot, and that's where it's gonna burn. But where it's off to the side, the hope is, all we're gonna do is heat the cast iron itself. Probably in 5 minutes. We're gonna pop the lid off, take a look, see how they're doing. If they need a few more minutes, we'll put them back in. 8 to 10 minutes. And a lot of it depends on your coal heat. If you're burning a softwood, it's gonna burn a little bit quicker and not as hot as if it's a hardwood. So if you're using briquettes, that could change it as well. So this is where you just really have to pay close attention to make sure that you don't overcook your cookie, so you don't have to take them down to the gun range and use a mesquite. We'll check on this in 5. So a good heavy leather glove is always good when messing with Dutch ovens, because that will get really hot. This is an old welding glove, but it works very well. Then you're gonna want something to be able to lift your lid off. But just gonna lift this and see what it looks like in there right now. Okay, so this was a cold Dutch oven, so it's still not quite there. So we're gonna give it more time. We'll just put that on. Now you're gonna wanna shift your heat as well, because it might be warmer in one spot than the other. So you're gonna turn your lid. It was like this originally. You're gonna turn it a quarter of a turn counterclockwise. And then you're gonna wanna turn your Dutch oven just the opposite. You're gonna turn it, twist it, and put it back down. And that way, if your coals are warmer in one place over the other, this will help keep it so it all gets distributed that full heat. Okay, so we've been running probably about 11 minutes at this point. My Dutch oven was cold when I first put it on. If you want to cut that time down a little bit, you put a warmer Dutch oven out. But anyways, we're going to check this now, see where we're at. Okay, so the tops don't look quite done, but you can see how we're getting some brown around the edges. So we're going to secure this back on there. We're just going to take it off that heat. There's enough heat in the Dutch oven that it'll finish cooking that. So we're just going to let this sit here for 2 minutes. At that point, we're going to put it on a rack. Slide them off the parchment paper, put them on a rack, so that way they can cool off underneath all the way through, and they'll be ready to taste test. Okay, so we got our first batch of cookies out. Second batch is on the Dutch oven as we speak. But as you can see, to me this is the perfect cookie. I don't like them they're too thick or anything. I like them thin. So I'm going to go ahead and give this cookie a taste. Oh yeah. First Dutch oven cookie I've ever had. I definitely give that 10 thumbs up. Oh yeah. Now, I'm not the professional cookie tester. Because we better get this voice right here. You want to try? Oh, Bull approves. Does Hank want to try? Oh, Hank approves. But the real one that knows if it's a good cookie or not will be Jill. So I'm going to have Joe come up and taste test one of these. That is so good.
Do I get my own or do I have to eat yours?
No, you can get your own. Okay, get your own. It's hard to read her reaction, but I have a feeling it's coming. And that, folks, I think you can tell is a good chocolate chip cookie. Anytime it makes Jill want to spank me, it's a good cookie. Hey babe, I got 10 more cookies out here for you. I gotta go take care of the cookies, but thanks for watching. Oh, I got cookies on the fireplace I gotta get off too.